Yo, what's going on? This is Kurt and I'm back for another video. The topic of my video today is the subjective versus the objective, understanding energetic vampirism. The subjective, which is the astral, versus the objective, which is the etheric, and understanding the source of energetic vampirism. So I've already filmed two videos that I'm dropping in the next few weeks. One is on the science of Osiris and the underworld, and the other one deals with the Necronomicon, which are the most powerful extraterrestrials. But in the video, I explained that the Necronomicon are subjective extraterrestrials. And in the video on Osiris as well, I talk about the subjective versus the objective. So I figured, let me make a video to explain the difference between the subjective and the objective. The subjective is astral, the objective is etheric. Simple questions will lead us to transcendental observations. So ask yourself this: why am I being summoned every day? Who or what is summoning me? What am I applying by using the word summon? So here's a simple definition of summoning: to order someone to come to or be present at a particular place. Your thoughts, your emotions, your attention, your mind are all being summoned. Where to, though? So all the fantasies, all the scenarios we run through our heads, all the fears, all the wants, all the needs, all of that is your energy being summoned, your mind being summoned, your resources being summoned, because your energy builds. The best way that I could describe it, the etheric, which is the objective, is like the moon. It is always empty, always seeking light. The subjective, which is the astral, is positive. It is always full. It gives light. So, okay, I've never said that. When you see in the Christian mythos why they celebrate the birth of their so-called God, of their Savior, and why is it the God and he was born in the manger, there's many different interpretations. But what you have to realize is that as an astral being, when you beam your attention into etheric worlds, you give them light. You become a sun to an entire world. So in the same way, this world cannot function without everything that the sun provides. Etheric realms cannot function without the attention of astral beings. One astral being is enough to maintain the life of countless etheric beings. That's the game that's being played on you. So when you look in the sun or a sun is nothing but the moment, the moment of attention of an astral being. Think about what I said. A sun in the sky is merely a moment of attention of an astral being. So the etheric realm is a realm of void. It's empty. It always needs something to fill it up. So how do you as a sun, and how does your energy and attention and intent as an astral being get entangled in etheric realities? Let's use the 12 astrological houses as a reference. So what are you thinking about every day? The first house, Aries, yourself. The second house, Taurus, your resources. The third house, Gemini, communication. Fourth house, Cancer, home, etc. So your thoughts are your attention is being entangled in webs of complexity because, okay, let me stick to the script. Okay, so every day, knowingly or unknowingly, our energy goes into participating in the madness of the system. If you own yourself entirely, why aren't you able to dictate the flow of your energies? If I could decide what I pay, if I could decide what I buy with my money, if I could decide where I go, why can't all of your energies, all of your attention, why can't you decide not to think about shit? Why can't you decide not to stress about things? Why can't you decide not to worry about things? That's the summoning. We don't even have the luxury of not being summoned to realms, to problematics, to scenarios. So we pay taxes to the government, yet the true tax we pay is being an astral battery for etheric realities. Think about where your attention goes, but even more profoundly, observe where your intention flows. What is the general trajectory of your intention? Do you own it? Do you control it? Who and what rules it? Now, I was talking to a friend and he was asking me to explain or to elaborate on the difference between the subjective and the objective, or the astral versus the etheric. And I gave him this example. Imagine there's a computer with millions or thousands of commands. So those commands are your fake smiles, you putting up with things and people you can't stand, you putting your head down because you don't want to get fired, you adjusting to environments that you don't really like because you're aiming to please. Essentially, anything and everything we do to survive, that is the etheric. But buried deep within all those slave programs and behaviors, you will find your intent. Your intent is divine. It comes from the heart center. It doesn't understand brain. It doesn't understand pain. It doesn't understand fear. It is the purest expression of the highest and most organic impulses within yourself. It is your divine innocence. It cannot be summoned. However, it is plunged in the darkness of etheric behaviors. The truth about you is subjective, not objective. The truth about there is a divine. Remember, I was talking about the sun, how the sun is a positive energy. And when I'm talking about positive, it's not in a moralistic point. It's not in a moralistic point of, from a moralistic point of view. Literally, it is a positive charge. So the truth about this divine atom within you is astral, not etheric. And this is another point that I want to make before I continue with this. As etheric, when you become an etheric entity versus an astral entity, you're always seeking the physical aspect of things. So if you're looking for wealth, you're looking for physical manifestations of wealth. If you're looking for love, you're always looking for physical manifestations of love. That means, oh, I gotta have this amount of money. I gotta sleep with that many women. But the reality is that the astral part of you is, imagine if every planet represents the essence of an energy. So it's almost like a person will go 1,000,000 years eating 1,000,000 mangoes, but they will never feel satisfied because they haven't touched the essence of the mango. But if you could consume the mango once and imbibe the essence of the mango, the essence is always with you. You never need to chase the physical thing. So we've been reduced to chasers of shadows and not entities that contain the essence of love, contain the essence of wisdom, contain the essence of wealth. And that's what turns you into a slave or someone always looking for your next fix. So the basis of our etheric attention is founded upon lack, incompleteness, wants, needs, and overall a negative space. What do you think about on the daily? How am I going to make this money? How am I going to fuck this next bitch? Can I find love? Will I ever get peace? Can I get this person to like me? Why don't they love me? Why don't they respect me? Don't you realize how our thoughts, emotions, and imaginations are always hijacked and forced into to populate certain scenarios and populate certain spaces? And that's the difference between the astral and the etheric, between your subjective self and your objective self. The etheric, as the invisible aspect of the objective realm, is temporary, unreal, incomplete, and infinite. It is a never ending series of questions that truly don't have answers. The act of questioning itself feeds energy and maintains a flow of attention into the system. The etheric is a story after a story. The stories we tell ourselves, about others, and about the world around us. The etheric dreads silence. When I'm referring to silence, I'm not talking about the artificial, contrived silence that people induce through drugs and various spiritual techniques or discipline. The silence of fullness. So, true silence is fullness. So, if you have internally you have internalized the essence of Venus, of Mars, of Jupiter, of all the planets, there is nothing to think about, there is nothing to say, because you are full. So silence is a state of fullness, it is not a state of emptiness. Silence belongs to the realm of the subjective, of the real, of the astral energy. The astral energy is always a positive charge. So this is me describing your subjective self. Imagine if you had all the knowledge, all the love, all the sex, all the wealth, all the space, all the freedom, that you had absolutely everything you needed and more. Where would your thoughts flow? Where would your attention go? Where would your intent go? The only way to discover the divine subjective astral atom within yourself is to function from a place of completeness. The place that is so complete and abundant of energy, the place that is so complete and abundant of every form of energy that its intent only moves about for the purest love and acts of creation. The truth, which is the astral, cannot be influenced, coerced, scared, bought, intimidated, controlled, subdued, or impressed. Find the space within yourself that corresponds to this. Find the space within yourself that is incorruptible, and there you will have found the most precious treasure of all. Thus, when you found it, you found positive silence, the silence within that has taken into account the reality of everything, that has accounted for everything, respected everything, and that rests in that truth. From there, you are immovable. Why do we keep speaking to ourselves about ourselves? I did this, I'm like this. Anything that is evident, anything that is real, doesn't need you to repeat it. That's why nature is silent, because the power of nature and of the four elements is self-evident. So anytime you catch yourself talking to yourself about what you are and what you did, and just know that is the etheric part of you that is saying that. That is the etheric that must feed the story with questions, with inquiries, with comments, because it needs to feed on the daily to survive. You will never know yourself through lack and through the lens of poverty. Integrity, kindness, and confidence allow you to draw out from within everything that is of the same nature as their source. That is health, wealth, boundaries, respect, love, serenity, abundance, tranquility, raw power, and command. Living life from the perspective of an objective etheric being, you are at the mercy of all human and temporal inequities and inadequacies. The reality of this fact is all around us. More attracts more. More money gets you more money. It gives you more opportunities for investments where people that don't have money can't really put their money into investments because they have certain things to pay, etc. That means that there is no need to walk around being destitute, needy, and in want. The objective is infinitely in want because its false existence hinges upon the actions and the emotions of those who want and crave. The subjective is eternally abundant, wealthy, and fulfilled. And because of that, whatever comes across it seeks to add to its wealth, health, abundance, and overflow. Those are the laws. So, what am I saying? As counterintuitive as it sounds, the only way for you to draw out from within yourself, from within your subjective self, all those things that you think, that you seek, and that you want, is to understand that you cannot not be those things. They are your nature. And that puts your mind, that puts your heart, that puts every part of yourself at rest. And once you're able to get into that place of rest, of internal silence that is based on fullness, thus you allow the subjective to come forth, and you allow the etheric objective aspect of yourself that is unreal to start slowly dissolving. So that was the video for today, the subjective versus the objective, and understanding vampirism. The vampirism is not the negative person, the energy vampires. You are living with an energy vampire 24/7 when you don't know yourself. That same person that you fight to sustain, that you fight to feed, that you fight to defend, that personality, that etheric you is your worst enemy. It is that part of you that will enslave you. It is that part of you that makes you a battery. So the vampire is within. Any other vampire that is external is just an add-on. The real vampire is within. All right, so comment, share, like, and subscribe. Peace.